Oh look, a new book.
Good. You're alive. When I first saw you falling, for the first time I prayed that I'd save you. I think I overdid it. That's the magic cauldron. It's still there.
Cornelius.
I'm all right. How's the cauldron?
I stopped it without destroying the core. But all the phosons it absorbed from the world have been used up. At this rate, the salvation Iwei talked about is...
Friend or foe?
Gwendolyn! She's still alive! They're both alive! Huh? This ring... It's Titrell. Why does she have it? Is this fate? After all this, it's made its way here. But... the furnace has no more power. Oh! Master Croy. I finally understand. There's still some power. The crystals are right here. In this cipher. The blade is a crystal. If I turned them back into phosons, they could power the cauldron.
No, Velvet! If you use the cauldron, you'll be cursed.
Cornelius, everything that has happened has been leading up to this moment. They are the crownless lords from the poems. They will be the ancestors to all of humanity. And this hand wearing the ring shall be the savior from the prophecies.
Velvet.
The ground is crumbling. We must hurry! I must reverse the magic's flow. Ciphers, give yourselves. Release the source of life. Give the world back its soul. I hereby request Arion's revival. Let the seed of life flow. Obey the ring, Cauldron. You are no longer an abomination, but the mother of all, filled with hope.
Everywhere we look, the land is ruined. 'Tis worse than the netherworld.
Are we the only ones who survived this?
That I do not know. But 'tis a miracle that we survived at all. Perhaps... Let's find a place to rest.
In this shattered world, will there ever be a place that can accept us after we've hurt the world so?
Gwendolyn. Wait. Something's happening.
Oswald! What is it? The land!
It's as if a new world is being revealed. Gwendolyn, we're witnessing a miracle. We cannot give up. We must have hope.
And there we go. That's the end of it. I thought there was one more scene. You have to have beaten all the bosses with the wrong characters for it. Which, I think there actually still might be, now that I think about it. I think I know what goes on in that scene. So, I will play that after a cut once the credits finish, and we'll see that. That'll be the rest of today's episode. So I guess if you're seeing this, this is episode 100. So there we go. That was Odin Sphere. I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to Leif the Seer, because as you saw, the game needs some work. It needs some polish to really like bring it up to like Muramasa, Dragon's Crown kind of like good gameplay. Which I'm confident they can do. I'd also love to see some DLC, maybe like an Odin DLC would be really cool. He talks about how he makes Baylor specifically so that he doesn't get his ass kicked, but thanks to Mercedes, he doesn't have Baylor anymore when he needs it, so. Anyway, while the credits roll, there is some stuff I want to talk about in regards to Ragnarok, Norse mythology, and its relation to Armageddon. In Ragnarok, there is a series of events, including a great battle that ultimately results in many of the major figures in Norse mythology, like the gods themselves, dying. It's primarily described in a work called the Poetic Edda and the Prose Edda. Both of them are from like the 13th century. And while the title Ragnarok is used in the Eddas, Wikipedia is telling me that it was popularized by Wagner's opera Der Ring des Nibelungen, which this is based on, supposedly. I don't know much else about the opera than that, so there you go. The first thing that happens is the seer informs Odin of all the events that are to come, including things like the sun blackening and 3 roosters crowing, and then after they do that, the hound Garmr will howl in front of his cave, his bindings will break, and he runs free. And then the seer describes a bunch of people fighting and everyone dying. So a bunch of stuff starts happening all at once, like Jotuns, like Hrym coming, the Midgard serpent Jormungandr starts writhing, which causes waves, and the fire Jotnar come out. So Surtur starts advancing. And so then the gods have to decide that they have to battle the invaders. So Odin is swallowed whole and alive while he is fighting the wolf Fenrir. His son Vioar rips the wolf's jaws apart and stabs it through the heart with a spear, which kills Fenrir. Jormungandr, the world serpent, is fought by Thor, who defeats it, but then collapses after taking like 9 steps. Frey fights Surtur and loses, and the sun becomes black and the earth sinks into the sea, the stars vanish and flames touch the heaven. So I think you can see some pretty obvious parallels between how Armageddon works and how Ragnarok worked. Ingwe, when he transforms into Darkova, is pretty obviously supposed to be Fenrir, and Gallen is pretty obviously supposed to be Garm. Both of them are ferocious wolves that start destroying the world. Gallen and Garm are ones that break free from their shackles and make their way out. So they knew that they were a problem, they were shackled. There's a line in Ragnarok that is something to the effect of the sea began to boil like a cauldron. And then the sea starts rising, which is the reason Onyx, or his parallel Surtur, start leaving and invading. Thor, Odin's son, or in this case Gwen, wrestles with Jormungandr, the serpent, which in this case is Levinthon, which, quick aside, the name is probably a mistranslation, or at least a nod to Leviathan, the serpent from the Bible. That's another thing you can look up. So that's her fight. And then Frey, the god of fertility, is, I think, it's Frey and Freyr. And they're twin gods. One of them is Ingwe, one of them is Onyx. In the story, Frey fights Onyx and is killed. And if we take Frey to be Ingwe, then... which I don't think so. I think Frey was supposed to be Velvet. But her twin brother, was in love with Mercedes, who ends up fighting Onyx. So that one's a bit of a stretch, but there's still a thing there. And then afterwards, there's a rebirth. 2 humans emerge. Plants grow. A new world is born. From Yggdrasil, 2 humans step out. A man named Leif and a woman named Leif Thursier, which is the name they took for the remake, which, now that you've seen the ending, makes a lot of sense. I think the only other thing I have to talk about is... No, you know what? That's it. That's it. That's Odin Sphere. So we do have one more scene that I need to... Oh, are they still going to show us? There's Yggdrasil with Mercedes' bow embedded in it, because as you know, might have noticed, Mercedes' bow did not fragment into crystals when Velvet broke everything. So there we go. There's the tree that grows from Mercedes' corpse, I guess. Yggdrasil, the world tree. I want to... There we go. I had to push start. So we'll save our game here. I'll just save over the same slot. I'm pretty sure this is all just going to work. I'm not going to record the whole thing again. Let me get taken back to the main menu. And you see that there is still 1 star. There's 1 more book. So I'm going to make a cut to when I have the last book, which, just for reference, that was called Wheel of Fate. So until then, I'll cut here.
We finally collected all the coins from Valentine. All the coins my grandfather created are here.
Let's see. We should test this now. Magical coins. After these thousands of years of toil, if you are all here, answer my call.
Enlightened one, shall I sing your praises? Who has gathered all the coins from my kingdom?
Ah, that face. 'Tis my grandfather when he was a kind man. It is I, your granddaughter, Velvet.
He cannot hear you. This is only an image from the past.
Who is the one to have amassed such a fortune? It matters not. Such a lofty accomplishment deserves a grand celebration granted by my incredible power. Hear me and rejoice! Allow me to grant any wish. One single wish. Think carefully.
I've waited so long for this day. Of course, I want to break the curse on us.
Wait, Velvet! Do you really wish that? All of us cursed to be Puka. We can live forever in a timeless vacuum in these bodies. We can live forever in love, just as we are now.
And our souls will go on, even after our flesh finally gives up. This curse is eternal, and our souls will never return to the land.
But if we become humans, we will die before 100 years have passed.
Cornelius, instead of living eternally while cursed, I believe that it is more noble to live out a natural life among other humans.
Yes, I agree. For millennia, we have observed the lives of other people. But even in these prosperous times, we cannot say that the people are happy.
The world is filled with heartache, as it was before the Armageddon. But the sun will always rise. There is always a path.
Yes. The world was not destroyed, and...
The descendants of Gwendolyn and Oswald live on today. Their souls survive in this land that they have saved.
the blood of Valentine must also be passed on.
Cornelius,
King Valentine, we have decided. Listen to the voices of your coin's owners. Break this spell and return our humanity.
Rejoice! With this, you may fear that the power within you is fading as well. But it remains. Hear me, those who have worked together. Your efforts are greater than any mere magic. Live your new lives to the fullest.
Until death do us part.
I shall never let you go. Our lives will go on together.
Hey, you there! You look rather sad to say goodbye. Titania's become a nice place after the dragon disappeared. It certainly feels a lot better. Just where do you hail from? You don't know? You're an odd one. Whoa! Watch where you're going! Well, you must be here looking for a good deal, am I right? I've got just the thing. Come on, it doesn't cost anything to look.
One apple, please.
But of course. Today's your lucky day. That was what we call a fairy. You don't see them around here that often. This town's really gotten lively lately, and many new people have come. Like that sexy lady over on the corner. What an odd couple. Ooh, what's that you have there? How about selling it to me? I'll trade you this special commemorative Valentine coin for it. Look, just between us two. They say that this is a rare coin that can grant wishes. Sounds fair, yes? Hey! That's a Valkyrie. She looked like King Odin's daughter. Good heavens! Is there another war going on in the West? If you are planning on doing some trading, you best avoid that area. Oh, so you're a writer? Are you writing about your travels here? Well, that's nice. Hey, write about me while you're at it. All right now, take care. It was nice talking to you. If we ever meet again, let me buy a copy of your book. Hey, wait! So, let me ask, what's the title of the book you're writing?
Alright, so that's the ending of Odin Sphere. That's the bonus ending if you do all the extra scenes for doing Armageddon wrong, which is you have to beat Ingwe with Velvet and Mercedes, you have to beat Galen with Cornelius, and you have to beat Onyx with Gwendolyn and Oswald. which I show off at the end of the last episode. So I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to Live Through Seer. I like to see what changes they make to make it better. Looking forward to some DLC, maybe some Odin DLC where you use Baylor. Maybe when he's a little younger, hanging out with Velvet and Ingwe's mom. Maybe some Ingwe DLC where he goes around being evil. Although I know Miramasa's DLC was more in the vein of, like, there was one where you were like a cat spirit, cat demon girl that had nothing to do with the two characters. There was one where you were like a farmer who had nothing to do with the two characters. So, for all I know, whatever Odin Sphere DLC we see in Live Through Seer will just be like that. It'll have nothing to do with the story, maybe. Maybe something more about Atlus here, because she's just kind of the vessel for the meta narrative. But I enjoyed the LP. I have an idea as to what I'm going to do next, and I hope you'll join me then. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.